I was able to talk with a group of students at Iowa State University almost 4 years ago now and share with them my story. And time again, when I was going through obstacles and overcoming them, they asked me how I was able to do all of this. And I didn't have the right words for it then, but it stuck with me. And I realized that it was resilience. I've read numerous books about resilience and grit, perseverance, all of that. And I want to talk you through what I've learned and what got me through and made me resilient as I was facing different things. Talking about resilience, I believe there is great power in defining things. Resilience, an ability to recover from or adjust easily to misfortune or change. I'm going to hone in on the word easily. When it comes to life, a lot of things don't come easily. But with resilience, things get easier and easier every time. And why is that? It's really the steps you take and what you learn from things along the way. So the first step is to realize that rejection is inevitable. We're all going to fail, we're all going to have setbacks. And it at first glance you're like, "Paul, just saying rejection is inevitable, how does that help me?" When you realize that every successful person has had to go through things and is still going through things and will go through things, I think that's free. The next one up is the E, and that's evaluate the mistake or failure. A lot of times we fail and we try and bounce back up really quickly. But do we really take the time to understand why the mistake, why the failure? I've heard it said that there's a man that he kept trying many times and he kept getting knocked down when he was trying to fight. He would get up, got knocked down again. But did he really take the time while he was down to realize what do I need to do differently to not get knocked back down? Tenacity is great to keep going, but you also have to understand what you're doing wrong, what you need to adjust, and learn from your mistakes. Now we're up to the S. That is surround yourself with the right people. So we understand rejection is inevitable. We are evaluating our mistakes or failures, but now we got to surround ourselves with the right people. The people around you are going to speak life or death into your situation. When you understand that when you are around people that are positive or are encouraging, that also leads you to be positive and encouraging, and that just changes the atmosphere. I've been around people who have been just drainers of the atmosphere. And I've also been around people who lift things up. And in every situation I'm in, I want to set the tone and be a thermostat and set the temperature and not be a temperature and just read it back. So it's important that you surround yourself with the right people. The next one is the I. Invigorate yourself with the goals you've set. If you haven't set goals, this is where you need to set them. And just really key, I'll share it real quick, is think about what are you trying to achieve? Where are you trying to reach? Who do you need to connect with? Because a lot of times it's not just what you know, it is who you know that is very important. As we've learned with networking and especially through the pandemic and just having everything virtual, is that we learn that we can connect better than we could ever be before, even when we were virtual. But at the same time, we felt isolated. So make sure you're setting the right goals, connecting with the right people, and keep moving forward. Now we're up to L. Leverage small wins first. And I'll be honest, this is something that I personally am still working on. I'm working on all of these stuff that I'm talking about, but leveraging the small wins is even more work in progress than the other ones. And that is really understanding that it's good to have your sights set out on something big, something grand, something great. But you also want to reward yourself and understand that you're making the steps every day. And so there's something that I've learned from reading a book from Jason Selk, which is a tremendous author on mental toughness, but focusing on your performance rather than what you're trying to achieve. Because if you do the right things every day, you're eventually going to get the right results. So focus on the performance and the product will take care of itself. The next up is another I. Inspire yourself with a plan moving forward. So you have your goals and you're leveraging small wins, but what are the milestones? What are the different things you're doing along the way? You may have a goal of having $1 million business, or maybe it's $100,000, or just starting a business. But what are the things you need to do first? Maybe it's creating a business name, getting a logo, finding business partners. Like, set these different timelines to help you get started. And I will say, along with this, you definitely need a coach. I had a coach. I have a coach that I reach out to when I'm doing different things. I can help you if you're trying to go deeper in your business, you have questions, and really to understand that coaching unlocks the potential within you. There's nothing about me that's special except for the fact that I'm trying to unlock what's already in you to get you to the next level. Up next, we have execute the plan. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you don't execute it, it's worthless. There's nothing else to say about that. You need to execute. Whatever it takes to execute. It talks about coaching and having a plan, having an accountability partner. Whatever you need to do to make sure you're executing on what you set out to do, make sure you're doing it. Next up is never say never. I know I said it twice just there, but you know what I'm saying. Don't let negativity cloud your judgment. That's why I talked about having the right people around you. That's so critical. Make sure you keep the right people around you. But the other thing is that you might be toxic to yourself. You might have to reprogram how you're thinking, what you're saying. Coaching can help with that as well. But never say never. You guys might think at this point, this guy's like Justin Bieber back in the day with that song saying never say never. But it is critical to remember that negativity, a negative outlook, being down on yourself, it's not going to get you to your goals. Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So whatever you set your mind to, it's going to happen. All right. The C is choose your next opportunity. Whatever that means. Maybe your previous business venture failed. Go after another one. Maybe you're partnering with someone this time. Maybe you didn't get the interview, or maybe you didn't get the job. Find the next interview, find the next job, create a new resume. I'm giving a lot of stuff in like the business or the career side, but I focus on business and career coaching. So that's my bread and butter. But it can apply in so many different things. It might be relationships. It might be in your fitness. Whatever it is, choose your next opportunity, because it is critical that you don't give up. And then finally, the last E is expect to succeed next time. You will only achieve what you expect to achieve. I talked about it previously about the Henry Ford quote. If you don't expect to succeed, it's not going to happen. So make sure you have the mindset of that you're going to succeed. It's going to happen. It may be a process. You're definitely going to learn along the way. But don't let your failures and setbacks make you think that you are a failure or a setback. Those things are just what happened to you. And I want to be honest. You're going to fail. You're going to have setbacks. But don't let that limit you. The very essence of failing and being set back means that you're moving forward. People that don't fail don't do anything. So go out there and expect to succeed.